Hola, buenos días. Wanted to record this video as we're approaching the end of our course. And the first thing I wanted to do was to go over last week's material, mainly the voice thread, which I am very, very impressed with how well you guys are doing, really making an effort to pronounce right. And a lot of you sound very, very close to native, and I'm very happy with how you have been doing things. There are a couple of things that just I wanted to mention in some of the slides. You all did really well here in the first slide. The second slide, everybody did great with the questions. Some people got really creative, and which is great. The idea is to create with the language that you learn. So because when you do your own creation, you remember it more. Okay, so I have some things here. Just very few of you use the verb ser and estar interchangeably. Nothing too serious. It's a very understandable mistake, but ser and estar, if some of you may need to review, one to use one, one to use the other. But the main thing that I noticed in the next slide, or actually in this one, ¿cómo están? With the verb estar, that's where I noticed that some of you used the verb ser instead of the verb estar. These are states of being that actually change, that can change. They're not permanent. So we always use the verb estar. And some of you use the verb ser. But one of the main things that I did notice was, let me see if I can get this. With this slide right here, los estudiantes, of course, you all used the adjective feliz, right? But this is more than one person, okay? So we have to put feliz in the plural form, and most of you use the singular form. You said los estudiantes están feliz. If you remember, I think it was in the first chapter or the second chapter, we went over how to make nouns and adjectives plural. So if you have an adjective that ends with a Z, you have to change it to a C and then add yes. So los estudiantes están felices, okay? And the same thing here with las personas. Las personas is a feminine noun, las personas, okay? And you have to use a feminine and plural adjective to describe them. So if you, most of you use the adjective enojado, but enojado is for one person in the masculine. So las personas, we need to put that adjective in the plural and feminine. Están enojadas, okay? Those are the two things that I noticed in this slide, in this one slide. Let's see. Let's go back to the other slide with the numbers. I think it is. With the numbers, well, of course, a lot of you, you're so used to saying 911 that some of you said 911. The idea was to use the big number, the hundreds, the big numbers, right? And 911, okay? It's okay, but that was the idea, 911. And just everybody did great here. And down here with the hundreds, I noticed that some of you said 105, 103. When you're doing 100 and something, it becomes ciento, 105, 103, 102, etc. Okay? Let's see, I've got my notes here. With the questions, the slide where you had to make questions, a lot of you used the question, how many, all right, which is great. How many books, how many students, but you forgot to include the verb, okay? How many books are there, or how many books does he have, okay? So some of you said, ¿cuántos libros? And that's it, but we need the verb. How many books are there, or how many books does Ricardo have? Okay, so the complete question would be, ¿cuántos libros tiene Ricardo, o cuántos libros compra Ricardo, o cuántos libros hay, okay, are there, o cuántos niños, here in the second one, cuántos niños hay, okay. So that was the only thing that I noticed in this slide, okay. So I think that's with the reading of the verse, everybody is doing great. With the pronunciation, if you are if you don't know, well, I recorded beforehand for you so you can listen to the pronunciation. But take your time and pronounce each letter. But everybody's doing real well. Okay, so now let's go back to our course. And what I wanted to talk about was the final. And you're going to have a choice. You can take a comprehensive final exam, which is going to be like a quiz that you have been taking in my Spanish lab, but it's going to include all of the material that we have covered. Or if you want to do a video project, you can go to course modules, and here is a final video project and all the instructions on how to do it, okay? It's going to be a video. You can use your phone or whatever technology you feel comfortable with. Just make sure it's a pretty standard format, like, you know, MP4, something like that. Don't create a video with an extension that is just for Windows or just for a specific system. I have a Mac, and so sometimes things are not compatible, but MP4s always work. Okay, the video is going to be between 8 and 10 minutes, no more than that, okay, at the most. All right. The date is going to be June 21st at midnight, and there is absolutely no extension because the next course, the 112, starts that Monday, and so some of you are going on to 112, and so I need to have those grades on Sunday. I'm going to have to spend the whole day grading and turning them in. To be able for you to be able to see your grade and go on to the next course. I'm not sure if it starts on Monday or Tuesday, but right away. Okay, so I cannot give any extensions to anybody. That's the absolute deadline. All right. So what it is, you're going to choose from each category. There's category 1, 2, 3, and 4, and in each category there's 2 or 3 topics. Okay. So what you're going to do is choose one from each. One from category 1, one from 2, one from 3, and one from 4. So for example, I choose from here, I choose A, and from category 2, I'm going to choose B, and from category 3, I'm going to choose C, and from category 4, I'm going to choose A, okay? Not all of them, just one from each. And then you're going to follow the instructions in each item that you chose, and you're going to be as creative as you'd like. You can go out and film outside with your family, with your friends, with props, with, I don't know, whatever you want to do. Some of you are extremely creative. I have seen that already. But the thing is that you have to appear in the video doing the talking at all times. I don't want to just hear your voice. You have to appear in the video doing the talking at all times, okay? At all times. So use authentic objects, real people, places, etc. Last year, the videos that were turned in were extremely good, very good. And I have included one here which says sample final video project. This was one of my favorite ones. She was very, very good, very creative. Of course, you're not going to do exactly what she did, but to give you an idea of how I want you to do it, okay? So creativity will be part of the grade because that's part of, you know, using the language. And of course, take some time to look at the grading rubrics and include things that are mentioned here so that you get as high a grade as possible. Okay, the content is going to be a part. You know, you're going to try to include a wide variety of vocabulary and the structures from the chapters that we've seen, okay, as much as you possibly can. The grammar, of course, all that vocabulary and structure has to be used in proper grammar, okay? Pronunciation, you guys have done extremely well with pronunciation, so I expect to see the same quality of pronunciation in your video. The creativity also, very if your video is very entertaining and enjoyable to watch, and lots of things that you use visuals, and it's not so much to entertain me, it's for you to be able to use the language and connect it with real things. And I promise you, you're not going to forget what you do with touching and seeing and actually doing practical things with the language, as much as you would doing just an exam. Okay, and of course the deadline, if you turn it in late, well, you run the risk that your grade is not going to appear in my ACU early enough, because I need to have time to grade 37 exams. Okay, so that is the video project. So you can choose to do that, or you can choose to do a comprehensive exam in my Spanish lab. Okay, I need to know as soon as possible who is going to be doing what. Okay, so please send me an email and let me know what you're going to be doing, so I can start writing it down and having a good idea of who's going to be doing what. Okay, muy bien. So far, most of you are doing great. I see your work day by day, and I see that a lot of you keep up with the schedule. A lot of you wait until the last minute, and I hope that you don't find this overwhelming. I think it is, but try to keep up with the schedule as much as possible. Next week is the last week, and it's going to be a very short week. Okay, we're not going to cover the whole chapter 5, just the key points. There will not be a voice thread, and there will not be a discussion, because I want you to concentrate on completing the final, either the video or get ready for the exam. Okay, so you're just going to be doing the My Spanish Lab activities. Okay, and there will be a short quiz, but no voice thread and no discussion. Okay, muy bien. I think that's it. As always, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, chao, hasta luego.